Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. Peep Squad is in a building, baby. We're going to the top. I'm going to bring others with us. So please become a part of Peep Squad, notification squad, and hit that notification bell. And know each and every time I drop a video, and be the first one to comment. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 12, Kenya Moore, and everything that's going on with that situation. Thank you, Alicia from Baltimore, for your info. So let's get into it. Marc Daly and Kenya Moore. But first, let's talk about how beautiful the ladies from Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 12 look. They look beautiful. They look absolutely fabulous. They look gorgeous. And you can't really tell who is the best dressed, who's the best looking one. They all look the best. They all look gorgeous. I mean, when you see a picture like this of the cast, you already know the season's going to be off the chain. It's going to be dark, it's going to be sexy, and it's going to be provocative, and it's going to be heart shattering to us as the fans, and they're ready to give it to us. The cast members are ready to open up and give it to us no matter what, whether we believe them or not. So it's going in. So let's talk about Kenya Moore and Marc Daly. So we all know that they are separating, and they soon will be getting a divorce, and basically we saw some of it play out in the Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 12 trailer, where Marc says, he don't care. You could take all his money. He don't care. So it seems like Kenya Moore and Marc Daly didn't have a prenup, or that's what it seems like. And Marc Daly said if he built it once, he can build it again. So we're going to see what happens with this situation. And also, it's alleged that Marc Daly owns 2 restaurants, and he hasn't had his broker license since 2015. That's alleged, so we don't know if that's actually true, but that's what they're saying. So it seems like Marc Daly do have some money. He do have some coin, and so does none other than, Kenya Moore. She got some money. She got some coins too as well, because people are alleging that Kenya Moore has paid Marc Daly to be her husband. She was going to pay off his taxes. If he has 2 restaurants and he has his broker's license, he can easily get it renewed. Why would he sell himself for $200,000? Why would he sell himself for $100,000 when it's alleged that he has a woman out there in New York that he's living with that has children by him too as well, and living with her, and then basically get paid by Kenya Moore? That sounds like he's a prostitute. Then it sounds like the woman that he's with ain't no good, and they're broken. They're scoundreling for money. It doesn't really sound right if he owns 2 restaurants in New York, and New York is a very expensive place. And if he can make that money, he can pay his taxes. A lot of people sometimes choose not to pay their taxes, but Marc Daly alleged that his taxes was paid up in full, that the IRS has to pay him money because they owe him money back. So people are believing that Marc Daly was actually cheating on Kenya Moore, and he's with his long-term girlfriend. Like, if he has a long-term girlfriend, then why the hell did he marry Kenya Moore, and why the hell was she put up with that? It doesn't make any sense. Was Kenya Moore played in the beginning? Like, did she not know what was going on with Marc Daly? Like, it doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense to, if you think about it, that Marc Daly is in New York and not in Atlanta like he's supposed to be with his wife, is because he has another woman, and that only makes sense. So, and I don't believe Marc Daly would sell himself for $200,000 or $300,000 when he can make that money back, and he probably has collateral. And it's also alleged that Marc Daly has, real estate too as well. So we'll see what happens with this situation, but really don't make no sense. And how did Marc Daly think that he was going to get away with it, being with another woman and, Brooklyn, or whatever the case is, being with another woman and living with her and everything else? Like, that wasn't going to get out, because allegedly, if Kenya Moore had paid Marc Daly, he owes her money back, because he didn't do his part. He didn't supposed to be living with another woman and all that other good stuff. And if he signed a contract with Kenya Moore, or he agreed to be her on TV husband or baby's father, whatever the case may be, then he set himself up for failure, when he knows that the media are going to do an investigation, that people are going to be watching him. It's going to be cameras. They're going to be people from Bravo Network, and people that are fans of the show are going to be watching what, are going to bump into him when they go to his restaurant, in his community, in his neighborhood. So it doesn't make any sense. Like, if they really thought that they were going to get away with it, if people would know, people will find out. So I don't know. It just really doesn't seem like Kenya Moore paid him, but that's what a lot of people believe. And it just doesn't make sense, because he would have to isolate his whole self and his whole life. And basically, if he can't be with another woman, because basically he has to be with Kenya Moore because she paid him, and he has to hold his end of the bargain. It seems like he will be actually living in Atlanta and be with Kenya Moore more and be filming with her more too as well, because it seems like he was broke and desperate, and that's the only reason why he would take money from her and then allegedly be her fake husband. Doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't seem like he's broke like that. And if she was going to make a deal with Marc Daly like that, she would make the deal where he has to film with her, he has to be with her, and he has to be on camera. And then that means that he is desperate. So therefore, he will want to be on TV. He will want to try to get a paycheck from Bravo and also promote his restaurant too as well. So a lot of it doesn't add up. A lot of it doesn't make sense. It is what it is with that situation, whether they're married or not, whether it was, a hired marriage or whatever the case is. But now they have a child, they have a daughter, they have Brooklyn. Brooklyn is here. And it seems like, I believe that Kenya Moore and Marc Daly was actually in a real relationship, and things were serious at one point. But I think maybe Marc Daly didn't like the fact, in my opinion, that Kenya put a lot of emphasis probably on the baby and probably getting pregnant, and didn't put him up on that pedestal. And therefore, he might have found love somewhere else, or he might have found a relationship with somewhere else, or he might rekindle a relationship with someone else. Because if this is Kenya Moore's first child, she's 48 years old now, so she was 47 or whatever the case is when she conceived. It's a risky pregnancy too as well. She had to do a lot of things to get pregnant and make sure she conceive and stay healthy too as well. So her attention and her focus was on making sure she's able to conceive her beautiful daughter Brooklyn. And then on top of that, was hoping that Marc Daly would be supportive. And maybe he didn't want to be supportive because he already had his kids. He's already been married, and it's alleged that Marc Daly's been married, but he's only been married to his first wife for only a year. So it seems like Marc Daly has a kind of repetition past where he doesn't stay married long, because his first marriage was only for 1 year, and his marriage to Kenya is only going to be for 2 years. So it seems like maybe he likes a commitment in the beginning, and then he's ready to be out. And then on top of that, Kenya Moore didn't drop everything that she owns and have and run behind him in New York. So that tells you that Kenya Moore may have been in love and may have wanted a husband and a baby too as well, but she wasn't going to jeopardize her future by selling her house and moving away from her business or how she brands herself in Atlanta too as well. So it is what it is with that situation. I'm just like, damn. It's just crazy with this situation. And people are also alleging that Kenya Moore had no idea that Marc Daly has previously been married or have children. And I kind of don't believe that, because I think after Kenya Moore has dated, Matt Jordan, and we already know Matt Jordan is basically, he was arrested for terrorist threats, domestic violence, and he went to a rehab facility or a mental institution, and he was supposed to appear in court this week, and he did not. So he has a arrest warrant out for his arrest. And I believe after that relationship with Matt Jordan, that Kenya Moore will most likely do a background check or make sure she finds all the information that she can find out about Marc Daly. And then if people are saying that it was an arranged marriage or it was a higher marriage, then she would know about his 2 kids, and she would know about his ex-wife. So that doesn't make any sense either too as well. None of this stuff really makes any sense. What really makes sense is they got married and it fell apart quick, fast, in a hurry because of conceiving a child. And maybe Kenya Moore's attention was solely on having this baby and taking care of Brooklyn, and Marc Daly felt like he wasn't put on a pedestal, because he seems to me to be like a man that likes to be put on a pedestal, and he seems like to me like the type of man that women has always put on a pedestal. And when he went out with his women, that he was always told that he was beautiful, he was handsome, he was gorgeous. And now he's with a woman that's actually drop dead gorgeous. So the attention ain't always on him, it's on her. And then Kenya Moore basically probably focused on herself, and she also took a year off for TV to basically be with Marc Daly because he didn't want to be on TV. So she paid him, she would stayed on TV with him because she paid him to do a damn service and a job. But that didn't happen. She didn't film and he didn't film. She didn't film the wedding, she didn't film none of that. And then she took a year off and she was with her husband. happen. And maybe at that time and point, she probably realized that this shit wasn't meant to be. But she was 47 or 46 at the time, and she wanted to have a baby, and she wanted to conceive. And if that's your option, you done already been with him, you done already slept with him, you already have a relationship with him, why not choose him to be the father? Because time is running out before, it's absolutely impossible for you to actually have a natural childbirth. So, she just did it. There's plenty of women that pick men to have children with off of just the strength of what they did in their past, or their education, or their pedigree, or they just cute, or they got good hair, or they light skin, they got green eyes. Like, there's so many different reasons that I know of some ladies to get pregnant by a guy, and it had nothing to do with love, and it also had to do with they just wanted a child, but they felt like this was the best option. There's sometimes people think that the option before them is the best option to conceive a child with, or they want to conceive a child with, because they want that person a part of their life for the rest of their life at that moment in time when they was in love, or just head over heels for that person. So that could have happened too as well. And I believe the time that Kenya Moore and Marc Daly probably spent together, when she wasn't filming, they probably realized that they wasn't a fit for each other. And then if she found out that he was cheating, and she's stuck at home with the baby, she's stuck at home with Brooklyn, and she's trying to film, she's trying to take care her daughter, and this is a first time mom, and she doesn't have that much support, then she got teething, she got colic, she got coughing, she got all types of appointments, and then trying to film, and then try to brand herself, and he's somewhere laid up with a woman and doing his own thing. Of course she's gonna say, I want a divorce, and of course she's gonna put it on TV. She might as well get paid for her pain and suffering, in my opinion. She might as well get paid for it if she's gonna be going through it, and why let it be private? Because it's gonna come out anyway. So if it's gonna come out, let it come out. Let me tell the story and let it be filmed, and then maybe it might catapult her to the top, or she just can actually ask for more money from Bravo. People are saying that, since now she's getting divorced from Marc Daly, that, she's getting a peach. I really thought that Kenya Moore already had a peach when she said that she was coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta season 12, and she posted an old Instagram picture of her holding a peach. I thought she had a peach. But now they're saying since she's breaking up with Marc Daly and they're getting a divorce, that Bravo offered her a peach. It is what it is. You might as well get paid off your pain and suffering. It is what it is, because now you're going to be you wasn't fully fledged a single mother. Now she's going to be a full-fledged single mother, living in a whole nother state than the daughter's father, which is Brooklyn's father, Marc Daly. And so it is what it is. And it seems like Marc Daly wanted his privacy, and he didn't want to be filmed, and he allegedly he said that Kenya Moore filmed him and put it on Instagram without his permission. And if she did that, that's wrong, and that's grounds to remove a relationship. It's ground to say it's over. And so we also have NeNe Leakes attacking Kenya Moore and asking her about why she getting a divorce. And of course, NeNe Leakes is going to ask her that. That's just a part of the show. That's just a part of how things are going to go down. That the ladies on the cast are going to ask her about her marriage, because in the past Kenya Moore has talked about other cast members, marriage, like when it comes to Phaedra Parks, when it comes to NeNe Leakes, when it comes to Cynthia Bailey, when it comes to the castmates, there's some things that she said about their husband. She threw Phaedra Parks a divorce party or whatever. So, people are going to address that. She said some things about, Kenya Moore and Cordell. And so it's only natural that people are going to talk about her situation and Phaedra Parks and Apollo, and then also talking about Kim Phil's husband too as well, and Kim Zodiac, which I don't like Kim Zodiac. I don't like her. So anyway, she could talk about her marriage anytime she wants to. So, and Cynthia and Peter. So it is what it is with the situation. And so it's just like, sometimes you can be at a place in life where everything is great, everything is falling in place and in order, and then you can see people around you that are going through strife and situation. You might comment on it, you might talk about it, you might give your opinion on it, and then a couple of years later you might be in that same position. So that's just how life is. Life turns. The world keeps turning. What goes up sometimes must come down. What goes down sometimes must come up. So it is what it is with that situation. So the ladies are going to get at Kenya Moore about her marriage and talk about the situation is only natural. And then on top of that, is alleged that Kenya Moore actually talked about her marriage while she was filming, and she broke down because, you know, her marriage was out of control and she was, you know, not being supportive, and she could possibly be going through postpartum depression. So it is what it is. So it's gonna have to come out sooner or later, whether she and Mark was going to try to hold it together or not. It was gonna have to come out, because when you're not happy, and it come and you can see it in somebody's eyes. You can see it, just like we saw Kenya Moore and Marc Daly filming with, you know, Tamron Hall. You could tell like the chemistry was off. So you guys tell me what you think about the situation. Only thing is, I know Eva's going to be talking mad crap. Eva Marcille is going to be talking mad crap about Kenya Moore, but, you know, she's pregnant while she's filming, so, you know, but nobody can really get at her like that. Other than NeNe Leakes, because NeNe Leakes doesn't care if you're pregnant, she'll get at you. But it also seems like Portia Williams is really supporting, you know, Kenya Moore, but also at the end of the trailer, Kenya Moore is calling all the ladies shady, and she's saying somebody is shady, somebody is lying to her, and somebody's deceiving her and fake. So we'll see what happens with this situation. And you know what? Sometimes, especially when you're on TV like Kenya Moore, people hold you to a higher standard. They feel like, oh, you pretty, you beautiful, you got money. Why don't you got a husband? Why don't you got a man? You ain't got no kids. Something wrong with you. It's like, damn, you can't, like, just like she can't find a good man, there's so many other women that can't find a damn good man. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing. Just because they're on TV and they got money don't mean that they're not human, that they don't have the same type of problems we have with relationships. Everybody can't find a good man. If everybody could find a good man, everybody will have a good man. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we don't even know when a good man's in front of us. So it is what it is with that situation. Why she, and then people try to judge you because, oh, you don't have a kid. Maybe having a kid was the most important thing ever, because Portia did the same thing. She wanted to have a baby. Remember, she had a baby nut because she was getting older, and she wanted to have a baby, because people judge you. And when you're a woman, especially a black woman, you're on TV and you don't got no kids, it's just like, that means like they make you seem like you're not a full-fledged woman, like there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? So these ladies try to fit in with everything, you know. They don't want to feel like the stereotype that they put us black women in. Oh, most black women will never get married. Most black women, you know, have a whole house full of kids. Or most black women don't know who their baby daddy is. All these stereotypes, which are not true. And so these ladies, especially Kenya Moore, try not to fit in that stereotype that she's an angry black woman and she can't get a man. So she ended up getting a husband, and she had a baby too as well. You know, she wanted a baby, because people judge you so much, especially when you're a black woman and you don't have a husband at a certain age. There's something wrong with you. You don't have kids, there's something wrong with you. And then internally, these women feel the same way, just like Portia did and just like Kenya Moore does. And I believe this is why their relationship has grown closer. So you guys tell me what you think. We're just talking about the rumors that are out there on the blogs about Kenya Moore, because you can't go on the blog site without people talking about Kenya Moore and her relationship with Marc Daly, and them separating, and it being this, is being that. And you know, peace. I'm out. One love.